I was saved on Friday, October 27th of 2023. I grew up in church, going to church with my family, and I even made a profession of faith and was baptized at a very young age. But my late teens and early 20s did not reflect a life, living a life with Christ. And I experienced some traumatic and devastating things in my personal life as well as within my family that really began to make me struggle with and question my faith and my salvation. But it wasn't until my mom was diagnosed with cancer in 2017 that I really came face to face with the reality of the absence of my faith. Knowing that, I just kind of told myself, if and when the cancer comes back, I know that I need to be right with God, because that's the only way I'd ever get through it again. But I just continued to live the way I wanted and try to fight my battles alone and heal my own brokenness. And I really struggled with my mental health. And in 2020 was the height of my depression and my anxiety. And I got to a place where I was so physically affected by my mental health that during quarantine I was having panic attacks almost daily, and I just felt like I truly lost any sense of myself, and I just felt so broken. But it wasn't until 2023 that I really felt the need to reflect on my faith and ask those deeper, harder questions within myself. And I was reminded of Jeremiah 29:12 and 13. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will hear you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. So that's what I did. I began to pray that God would reveal himself in my life. During this time that I was really trying to seek answers and seek God, my mom's annual doctor's visit came up. And one doctor's visit after the other just became more and more concerning until you get that call of, it looks like the cancer's back, and we don't really know what that means right now, but that's kind of all we know. And after that phone call, I allowed fear and hopelessness to consume me again, and I felt so broken, and I just thought, this is it. This is one of my worst fears coming true. And after I was able to get myself together, I told myself, no, this is it. This is when the cycle stops and you surrender. And I reached out to my mom and I told her I just needed to talk with someone because I knew what I needed to do. I just wasn't entirely sure how to do it. And she suggested that I meet with Miss Liz, who I've known my whole life, but I don't think I'd ever really had a one-on-one conversation with. But Miss Liz was more than willing to meet with me, and I just told her where my mind and my heart was at, and she just said everything that I was saying to her, I just needed to say to God. So she just helped to guide and encourage me to pray and to surrender my life to God. And His grace just covered me in a way that I couldn't imagine. And I would never look back. Before I was saved, I really struggled to understand the events of my life. I wanted answers for the whys and the what ifs, and I just kind of lived in this cycle and just feeling like I would always let my thoughts and my emotions consume me. And I would beg for peace and forgiveness for years. And after I surrendered, I felt that peace and that forgiveness come over me. And I know that I truly am forgiven. And even after I prayed with Miss Liz, I told her that I just wanted to stay there because I didn't want that feeling to leave me, and she just encouraged me that the feeling wouldn't leave me because it wasn't where we were. He was with me and he wouldn't leave me. And that has been so true, and my past and my scars will always be a part of me, but they no longer define me. Now I just seek my identity in Christ and allow His grace to cover me, and I truly have not felt more at peace with myself and felt more myself than I have the last few months after being saved. Throughout my journey of trying to understand what was missing with my faith, I had this thought and this feeling that if I was sick or if I had a broken arm, I wouldn't try to hide it or try to fix it myself. I would go straight to the first doctor that could fix it for me. And it was the same with my broken spirit. I couldn't fix it myself, but there was someone who could, and I just had to surrender. And I would just encourage anyone that recognizes and feels that brokenness within them or that something's missing, that it doesn't matter what you've done or what you've been through or how old or young you are. If you truly seek Him, He will come to you and He will heal you. He will meet you exactly where you are. Just don't expect to stay the way you are. First and foremost, Pastor Byron and Miss Liz, Pastor Byron for just being such a good and diligent shepherd and truly having a heart of God and caring for people, and Miss Liz for meeting with me that day and just her welcomeness and openness to me, and my parents for raising me in church and encouraging my faith, my brothers and sisters for always loving me no matter what, even if they didn't understand what I was going through, and just supporting me and praying over me. And my husband, John, for loving me, even when I didn't love myself, and even when it was probably hard to love me, and supporting me in this life-altering decision. And specifically, my sister Hannah and my mom Tedra. My sister for being an absolute light of God in this world and her boldness and faith that has encouraged me. And she is such a blessing in my life. And she truly did lead me to Jesus. My mom Tedra for her patience and her unwavering faithfulness, and her understanding that God's will could use something so devastating as her having cancer to lead people to Christ, and for never giving up on me. This year I'm turning 28, and this is a year that I have looked forward to for a long time because I had an idea and picture and timeline of what this year would look like for me. And instead I'm learning to surrender all that, instead just trusting God's plan for me. So to just pray with me that I would continue to seek God first and allow His plan to come into my life and just trust Him with everything that I do. For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not, I am the one who helps you.